Tom Aspinall has seemed to pull a quick one. He seemed to pull a quick one on everybody. Just a few weeks ago, he was on Twitter with his coaches, getting interviewed by Pete Carroll, the dude on the Ariel Helwani show, saying that his eyesight is so bad he can't even shake hands. Saying that he can't even play with his kid. Saying that he can't even look at his phone. Well, fast forward a few weeks later, he's shaking hands, looking at a camera flashing. A camera is flashing in his eyes that are damaged, and he's fine. And he has the hand-eye coordination to shake a hand, by the way. He's shaking a hand. Okay, so if you don't know who this guy is on the right-hand side, who Tom Aspinall is shaking the hand of, it's Eddie Hearn. If you don't know who Eddie Hearn is, he is a boxing promoter, right? He is the dude associated with Conor Benn, the dude that the UFC just paid $15 million for one fight. So this seems like a revenge arc. This is the first fighter ever that is being managed by my boy right here, okay? He is in the Matchroom Talent Agency. Now, you're wondering, what does this mean? Does this mean Tom Aspinall is going straight to boxing? No, because he is still contracted with the UFC. You ready? But he's still contracted with the UFC, right? So thank you for the gift or the follow. I don't even know what sound that was. But he's still contracted with the UFC. So he can't just go up and box unless the UFC dissolves his contract, right? When I saw this, I was like, it just seems like the UFC traded Tom Aspinall for Conor Benn. But they didn't. I have a bunch of clips here. First of all, this was the promo clip that dropped from Tom Aspinall. Flash photography, having full, his eyesight is fine. He's tracking things. Literally, in this little clip right here that nobody's talking about, if you watch Tom Aspinall's eye, he looks at something and then looks down. Like he's tracking an object with both eyes. Watch this. I'm gonna slow the playback speed to 0.5. We're slowing the playback speed to 0.5. Look at this. Look at his eyes. Look at his eyes. He tracks something. Look at this. Looks up and then looks down. Okay. Okay. I see the play. I see the play. But he's dropping edits on Twitter, and we're gonna get to the other heavyweights in a minute. But this is the post from Tom Aspinall at Tom Aspinall. Posted from Tom Aspinall, added Eddie Hearn with the punch emoji, and this is the clip that has come out from a 8-minute YouTube video from Tom Aspinall that he dropped. You know, Tom Aspinall is now a vlogger, and these dudes are holding a press conference in roughly 9 hours. 9 hours from now, Eddie Hearn and Tom Aspinall are going to be holding a press conference. So let's see this little clip.
Obviously boxing, just to be clear on that, obviously Tom is still with you.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, look, he has a contract with the UFC, so this isn't about bringing him into boxing. This is a commercial representation and an advisory capacity to help him across all of his business. And, you know, I'm sure, and everything that I hear means he can go in there and do serious damage in the boxing world, but it's not on the short-term agenda for sure.
And a lot of fans will.
He's loving this. Eddie Hearn is loving this. Eddie Hearn and Dana White have had a back and forth beef for God knows how long. I can't even tell you the origins of this beef. I would have to do some digging, to be honest with you. But they've had some disdain for each other for a long time. And Eddie Hearn losing his star child in Conor Benn. Conor Benn was Eddie Hearn's star child. Lost him to Dana White. Broke his heart. It opened something inside Eddie Hearn that needed to be fed, and I think it's a war with the UFC. I think it's a war with the UFC. Eddie Hearn is going to go in there and make everything hell, okay? He's going to make negotiations hell for everybody in the UFC. Now, this is a clip from Dana White on Piers Morgan. He was interviewed by Piers Morgan for whatever reason. No shot at Piers Morgan. But this is him talking about Tom Aspinall, and this came out a few hours ago.
He was your heavyweight champion. He's recovering from double eye surgery.
He is my heavyweight champion. Yeah.
What is the situation?
He is. He is my heavyweight champion.
With Tom?
Yeah, the company has talked to him. I haven't talked to him, and Tom and I obviously need to talk. You know, he came out recently, or his dad too, saying that, you know, they felt like I don't know how they said it, but that I had sort of shit on him in the way that I had spoke about, you know, his eye injury, which was absolutely positively not the case. Tom Aspinall is a guy.
That was like 2 months ago, by the way. What Dana's talking about happened like 2 months ago, by the way.
Guy that I respect. He's been great, you know, to work with. You know, never once did I question his injury or speak negatively about it. I said, I think he's okay, and I think he's going to be good, and they came out and said, no, that's not the case. He said, I haven't even talked to Dan.
They said, no, that's not the case, and then posted a video of him. Posted a picture of him shaking hands, tracking targets, walking around with the fucking sunglasses, bro, like he's still playing this gimmick. I'm not saying that Tom isn't injured, okay? I'm saying that he is playing the injury up. Walking without the sunglasses, by the way. Walking without the sunglasses, by the way. Tracking targets. Signing, reading things, by the way. Reading things. How long ago was the Ciryl Gane fight, by the way? Like, all of a sudden, he's fine as soon as he runs into Eddie Hearn?
And I don't know why he would say that, but, you know, obviously, my medical team is talking to him, and...
What's the question? John Jones, Dana was just straight up lying? Yeah, a little bit. Kid just doesn't want to fight?
That was what I had thought, and they thought that I had not...
Isn't it crazy? Like, got eye poked by Ciryl Gane, basically ruined your career, but you were the guy that was trying to fight John, the eye poke sensei. He was gonna be so knuckle deep, bro, like Three Stooges level, bro. Like bang, 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 bang. You know what I mean? You wouldn't stand a chance. One little eye poke, imagine like 30.
Knocked him in some way, which I absolutely positively didn't and wouldn't. I like him very much and respect him. I've never had a problem with Tom Aspinall.
Do you think he'll fight again?
I do.
Is that from conversations his team have had with your team?
Well, you know, he's still dealing with whatever.
321 was like 4 or 5 months ago.
Whatever's going on with his eyes, you know, and obviously over the last 30 years of being in this business, I've seen, you know, injuries that I questioned whether guys would come back from, and they always have, including eye pokes. Who knows? But if you ask me, sitting right here, right now, do I think Tom Aspinall will compete again? I would say yes.
Okay. But this post from Tom Aspinall is very telling. But then he also posted another picture. He posted, Tom Aspinall, I'm back? He posted something like, he posted back to business, and it was a picture of him getting off of a private jet. What's the big old deal? What's the big old deal, my boy? But he posted this, so I wonder, who are they going to have him fight? Let's see.
Deal. I have signed with Eddie Hearn and Matchroom on a commercial advisory deal. I wanted to add to my value. Eddie's someone that I've known for a fair bit. I trust Eddie. I want to make as much money and grow commercially as much as possible. Obviously, we're still recovering, but I'm looking to get back in there as soon as possible.
To me, he said, you know, you sure you want to represent me? I'm a bit, you know, bit of a sort of broken record at the moment. Like, you know, I said, what are you talking about?
I said, what are you talking about, mate? I'm here to make you millions and millions of dollars, mate. We're gonna fuck Dana White over, mate.
You're the UFC World Heavyweight Champion, mate. I just felt like I met a man that was just a little bit broken, if I'm honest with you. You got to feel like, you know, you've achieved a lot. I know you're humble, but at the same time, like, don't also forget what you've done and who you are. Like, I know it's a bit cringe, but put some respect on the name. You deserve to be treated in a specific way for what you've achieved. He has a contract with the UFC. This isn't about bringing him into boxing. This is a commercial representation and an advisory.
Gane rematch? Now, I hope it's the Gane Did he just use mate 3 times? Yes, he did. That's why I was making fun of him. I'm hoping it's the Gane rematch. I really do. Like, I would love to see the Gane rematch because I think Gane goes right through. Listen, I will pick Tom Aspinall that whole fight week. I said Tom's going to send Gane to outer space. I said a whole bunch of shit. But Gane was just way more technically skilled, and it was just in there, and Tom looked like he was like halfway out. Gane is definitely going to be the favorite coming back, bro, for sure. He's going to be like -2 something. He has to be -2 something. There's no way Ciryl Gane is not -200 when they announce that fight. Absolutely not. I swear Tom fights like Drickus, but with more power? Yeah. Literally. Literally. Let's not forget what the Blob, Ty the Blob, did to Ciryl Gane. Everybody has that weird loss. Everybody has that weird loss, you know? Like, what about Merab getting fucking chinned? You know what I mean? What about Merab getting chinned? But this is Ariel Helwani giving his actual insight into what happened. Now, Ariel Helwani, if you don't know, is a huge MMA journalist. You guys definitely know who Ariel Helwani is. But he interviews, obviously, Tom Aspinall, but he talks to Eddie Hearn all the time. And he DM'd Eddie Hearn, so he has some actual insight. I don't know if this is a clip. Yeah, it definitely is. It definitely is. Let's see.
Interesting about all of this. As you guys...
Hold on. I'm getting sick of the Gane Undisputed title fights. I think he should have an interim fight. Interim, schmintrim. Ricky Simon, man, he's the only person better than Marcus McGee? What? What? Then you might love Ronnie. You would love Ronnie Barcelos. You would love Ronnie Barcelos.
No, the UFC is the sport for all intents and purposes. I have known many managers over the years that the UFC hasn't liked. And the UFC has said, we're not talking to this guy. So you either figure it out or get someone else. You put someone else in front of us, get another manager, or we're going through you. There are times where the UFC calls up fighters and says, we're not talking to your manager. So if you want this fight, you want this deal, you're going to have to talk to us. There's...
Sheesh. Sheesh. You heard that, Tom? You might be shelved. Look, the heavyweight division is cooked, bro. You think they really need you? You've been shelved for the past 2 years. Your last year, you fought one time in the past 2 years. I'm not counting the Gane fight. You fought one time in the past 2 years. It was fucking Curtis Blades, bro. You think you really have that much name value right now? This, Jesus Christ. This right here might just be the nail in the coffin for Tom Aspinall. Actually. How old is Tom Aspinall? How old is Tom Aspinall? Get me on Tapology. Guys, tap in at Erock MMA on YouTube, boys, if you guys want to see all of my VODs. We clip up. We do the MMA news. We do shows like this every night. UFC 5 in the beginning. MMA news in the middle. UFC 5 at the end. And I clip up the MMA news and post it on YouTube. Check it out, man. I'm trying to be an MMA journalist. I'm chasing my dream. Help a brother out. Yeah, bro. 2024. 2024. His last three, by the way, Marcin Tybura, Sergey Pavlovich, Curtis Blades. Sergey Pavlovich, that's a huge W. Took Sergey's soul, by the way. This might be the end of the end of the road, bro, for Tom. He's 32, so he's not that old, bro. He has like 10 more years max. Not max. He's a heavyweight. He could fight till he's like 50, bro. So he might have 20 years max left in the fight game. All right. So maybe he fights out his man. Get me to Gronk. You know what? Just get me to X. Give me to X. Let's ask the AI. How many fights does Tom Aspinall have left on his contract? He said he's not sticking around for too long. That's very true. Not gonna lie, I used to be a fan of Merab, but his ego is annoying as hell, and I can't keep his snake in his pants. I love Merab. So 2 fights. He has 2 fights left on his contract. 2 fights left on his contract. But who knows if this counts? Who knows if this counts? Because it was a no contest. It probably does because he made weight. So if they count the Aspinall Gane fight, he has 2 more fights on contract before he can go box. 2 more. That's just enough for the UFC to fuck him over. Literally. Literally. What's the rankings again? So assuming they do Gane versus Tom Aspinall for the rematch. Let's say Tom loses for the fuck of it. They're going to end up doing Waldo Tom. Not even kidding. Or they're going to do Josh Hokett Tom. If Josh Hokett runs through Curtis Blades like I think he does, they give him Tom. And then he's out. Dark Horse Walter Walker. I want Walter Walker Volkov, man. He pulled out of the Marcin Tybura fight. So who knows when we're going to see him back. He said he wanted to finish healing up an injury. I think it was his knee or some shoulder or some shit like that. But when he comes back, I want to see him against Volkov. I'm excited for the Walter fraud check. Walter's my boy, man. I need the Walker W. I need the Walker W. Please, God, do not let Waldo fight Tom with no 5-round experience. Sheesh. You know it's not going to the 5th round. You know it's not going to the 3rd round. This really might be the end of the road for this guy right here. Thought you couldn't track targets, man. Thought you couldn't even play with your kids, by the way. Thought you couldn't play with your kids, by the way. Thought you couldn't even be on your phone, by the way. Hey, I thought you couldn't read, by the way. What's the big old deal, Eli? Welcome back, bro. Welcome back. Thought you couldn't even read, by the way. Alright. That's one topic that we had today. We're going to clip that up, post that.